Hi everyone, Dr. Joni here, and welcome to week 3, creating your GPS grad portfolio story with a focus on the reflective portfolio. I'd also like to remind you that this week our first discussion is due on August 30th at 11 p.m., and we'll talk more about that. It's to introduce yourself and also to review our first INTS 4498 ebook, which is the guest networker book as well. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the module for this week. In week 3, you'll see the module itself, discussion 1 for networking, frequently asked questions about the course, and also I've added the Grad Portfolio Story Forum, which is just an open forum for you to discuss ideas, thoughts about your grad portfolio story as you progress through this process. Okay, let's take a look at the module. Okay, here is our module for week 3. As you see, I always provide the overview video for you as well, but I'd like to walk you through this one. Developing your GPS grad portfolio story is an empowering way for you to reflect on your learning, integrate your learning, and prepare to share your learning story. This module focuses on the process of reflecting on your learning. We will review the process of creating a reflective, private portfolio with the 3 phases of reflect, assess, and collect. This is the private part of your portfolio, and you will see our first assignment that will be coming up soon looks at the reflective portfolio and walks us through some questions about the process, but we'll talk more about that assignment later. Okay, what are our objectives for this particular module? Well, we are focusing on objective 1 and 5, which is posted on your syllabus. But after this week, you should be able to explain what the GPS grad portfolio story process is, identify the 3 parts of the reflective portfolio, which reflect on your learning, assess your learning, and collect evidence to support your learning. So in this process, our first part is really to reflect on your learning. What are some of your significant learning events, developing an elevator speech, and really talk about what you're going to do to collect evidence to support your learning. And by evidence, we'll talk more about that, but it can range anywhere from previous works you've done, narratives you've written up, videos, pictures, whatever you would like to do to record your learning. And if you don't have any concrete evidence, then as I said, you can write a narrative or whatever is a way for you to begin to support your learning. Okay. Thirdly, we're going to create the first phase of the reflective portfolio, which includes developing your learning story, creating an elevator speech, and be thinking about our resumes. Your resumes, for those that are going to create a career portfolio, that can be a table of contents. But as you get to choose the mission, design, and format of your public portfolio, and so it can range from academic to starting a business to a personal. So we'll talk more about the public portfolio later. Right now, we're focusing on the reflective portfolio. We're also going to review some sample portfolios provided by what wonderful other learners who have given me permission from INTS 4498 to showcase their public portfolios. But remember, the private portfolios are private. And even for your assignments, the first really 3 assignments and actually into the 4th are your reflective portfolio. Okay, then we're going to discuss the resources provided by the guest networkers in those related topic areas as well. Okay, so what I'd like you to do, and this module activity should take you about an hour and 25 minutes, is to review some of our live binders that we have, our ebooks. And that is the first one, to look at the grad portfolio process and review the resources under the Reflective Private Portfolio tab. Then I have a ebook for us that focuses exclusively on creating a reflective portfolio. So take a look at that. And remember, these are not chapter books. They are done by category and tabs. So they are resources for you to look through and really go in any order that you find interesting. And then thirdly, we have the samples and the grad portfolio stories. These are integrative studies seniors that have taken this class and provided samples, and they're organized by format. Okay, but these are the public portfolios. And lastly, under Guest Networkers, review the Guest Networker seminar listed under Creating Your Portfolio tab. But as you're in the Guest Networker tab, um, look at, and we'll be looking further at one of our guest networkers, Jo Ellen Freeman, who's our KSU archivist, and she does a fantastic seminar webpage for us on, I call the GPS, Grad Portfolio Story. Well, she likes it so much she calls it the LPS, Life Portfolio Story, and talks about the importance of archiving your story, and gives information about the university archives as well. All right, what else? Graded coursework coming up this week. Discussion 1, networking introductions. They are due on August 30th at 11 p.m. Should take you about an hour, but remember, if you need an extension, please let me know. It's the best way to contact me, really, is through the D2L email, but of course you can write on the school email or call. Now, let's look at what's coming up for graded coursework. In discussion 2, which is not due until September 6th, we're going to look at creating your GPS grad portfolio story, reflective and public, going over all that information as well. And then assignment 1, creating your reflective portfolio, phase 1, reflect. That also is due on September 6th at 11 p.m. Now, for these, I want to let you know in every assignment, I also include obviously the rubric, but also a video with instructions for each one. And for the discussion 2, there's a rubric within each of those as well. Okay, module summary. After completing this module, you'll be able to define the process of creating your GPS grad portfolio story with the focus on the reflective portfolio. Students will be able to develop their reflective portfolio, which is the first step in the portfolio process. Students will have reviewed sample portfolios. Students will be familiar with the resources provided by the guest networkers in that related area. Module checklist. Continue to review the process of the portfolio, GPS process, specifically the reflective portfolio. Read the reflective portfolio live binder. Just review it. Review the guest networkers with related seminars under the Creating Your Portfolio tab. Discussion 1 is due on August 30th at 11 p.m. And review the upcoming discussions 2 and assignment 1. Okay, what's next? Well, next week we'll be looking at creating your reflective portfolio with the focus on assess and reviewing formats for the best of show public portfolio.